Back now with Brian Hayes and Craig Button. Guys, time now for Fantasy or Reality, the best on best edition. Olympic hockey begins 2 years from now, so that's the focus today. First up, the lock to win the Calder Trophy this year, Connor Bedard. Here's the statement. When the Olympics start in 2 years' time, Bedard will be Canada's second most impactful player behind only Connor McDavid. Fantasy or reality, Brian?
Fantasy at this point. Yes, Connor McDavid. Have you heard of Nathan MacKinnon? Nathan MacKinnon, I think, might be pushing towards being lock status for a Hart this year. He's certainly in the race. He is not going to fall off in the next 2 years. I think Bedard is going to be on this team. I think it's going to be a blast to see him play. He's still very young. He's not going to be in any winning situations in Chicago between now and 26. McKinnon's won his cups. He's still chasing cups. He's going to be further up the lineup. I think that one is a fantasy at this point.
Brian, I couldn't agree with you more. Complete fantasy. I mean, you talk about McKinnon. Sidney Crosby is still a prominent MVP candidate in the National Hockey League who shows zero signs of falling off. Oh, yeah, and by the way, he's only had massive success when he's played at the Olympics. Connor Bedard is the future of Team Canada in international competition. This is about McDavid. This is about McKinnon. This is about Crosby. And there's others. Connor Bedard, to your point, Brian, will be on this team. I don't have any doubt about it. But he's not even going to have a prominent role on this team, in my view.
Okay, we'll see. Guys who will be prominent in that tournament, Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid, part of another great fight for the NHL MVP this year. Fantasy or reality? When it comes to the Olympics in 2 years, Matthews is more likely to win tournament MVP than McDavid. Craig?
Wow, that's a tough one. I mean, I can't say that it's fantasy, and I can't just say I'm full in on Austin Matthews winning the MVP. I mean, one of the things with Connor McDavid being able to play at this level, at this tournament, is the excitement level he's going to have. Austin Matthews will have the same type of excitement. So, you know what I'm going here? I'm going like, bring it on. I can't wait to watch it. I think Canada and the USA will be in the gold medal game. And you have a matchup with Matthews against McDavid. I think it'll be brilliant. USA versus Canada, 97 versus 34. That's all I like. There's no way you can say that's fantasy because there's a real significant reality to it. But I'm not ruling out either one of them.
All right, I will. I'll say it's a fantasy at this point because I think it's going to come down to who wins the tournament. And as of now, I am still going with Canada as the prohibitive favorites. I think they win in 26. I think beyond that, this American hockey, they're coming, man. They're already here. The Americans have arrived. They are superstars. They are a loaded roster. There's no question about that. But I think Canada beats the USA. I think the MVP goes to whoever the best Canadian is. For me, it's Connor McDavid.
Canada beats the USA despite their lack of goaltending.
Absolutely.
That's okay. Jon Cooper has won 2 Stanley Cups behind the bench with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here's a statement. Cooper should be a lock to become Canada's head coach. Fantasy or reality? Brian?
That's a reality for me. I love Jon Cooper. I love his approach. I love the idea of him handling the media on a daily basis. You know how tough this can be, Gino. It's really difficult when the whole country's watching and the whole country's on top of things. Jon Cooper has the perfect disposition for that. I love his approach. I love his attitude. He's won everywhere. Absolutely, this should be a reality. Jon Cooper should be the man in 26.
Yeah, hey, listen, every argument you make for Jon Cooper, I could make it as well. And if you would have picked Bruce Cassidy, I would have gone with Jon Cooper. But I'm going fantasy, and I'm going Bruce Cassidy. I don't think Canada's the prohibitive favorite. I think the USA is the prohibitive favorite. So I think they need a coach that'll push them, that'll grind them, that'll know how to handle the touch. Go back to 2002. Pat Quinn was able to do that. He knew that there were certain players that he couldn't play as much, even though they wanted to. He had to change the starting goaltender. Oh, yeah, that was his own Curtis Joseph. That's the type of mettle I think Bruce Cassidy brings to this effort, and I think that's what Canada needs. Because, Brian, they're not the prohibitive favorite in my view.
2 years out, and we've already got dissension amongst the ranks. I love this. Best on Best Week continues on SportsCenter and social media. Still on the slate this week, the goalie debate, the top 5 gold medal favorites, and who should wear the C for Team Canada. Craig says that's a slam dunk. Wait for it. You'll like what he has to say.